In recent years, Taiwan has become a major concern for sparking a conflict between the United States and China. The island, officially known as the Republic of China, has been separate from mainland China since 1949. China sees Taiwan as a rebellious province and wants to bring it under its control. Tensions have risen, especially since Tsai Ing-wen became Taiwan's president in 2016. She rejected a plan for closer ties with China, unlike her predecessor. China has responded with aggressive actions, sending fighter jets near Taiwan. Some worry that a Chinese attack on Taiwan could lead to a war involving the United States. Let's dive into the complexities of this situation. Is the Taiwanese part of Chinese territory? China considers Taiwan as a part of China. They insist Taiwan should agree to the 1992 Consensus, a deal between China and Taiwan's Kuomintang. Yet they have different views on what it signifies. China believes that one country, two systems means both are Chinese and should unite. The government of Taiwan, representing the Kuomintang Party, has the Constitution of the Republic of China that includes China, Mongolia, Taiwan, Tibet, and the South China Sea as part of it. They don't want Taiwan to be self-governing and would like to have more connections with the mainland of China. The DPP, Taiwan's opposition party, hasn't been a supporter of the 1992 Consensus. The former President Tsai also refused to agree. She sought to discover an approach that would please Beijing, but her efforts were futile. China is determined to make Taiwan a part of the mainland by using a one-country, two-systems approach similar to the one they have partnered and promised to Hong Kong. However, Taiwanese people dislike this idea, particularly after the Hong Kong example of China tightening the screw on the freedoms of the people. This scheme is not even favored by the Kuomintang. From 1979 until the present, the United States has maintained a strong unofficial relationship with Taiwan. The U.S. exports defense articles to Taiwan and helps the latter to build up its self-defense capabilities, even though China is not happy about it. The U.S. stands for One China policy, which means that it recognizes China's position that there is only one China and Taiwan is part of it. Although it does not support the use of force to solve the issue and preserves cultural, commercial, and other links with Taiwan through the American Institute in Taiwan, it also stays neutral. The U.S. seeks to keep the peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and calls on both Beijing and Taipei to maintain the status quo and to not support the independence of Taiwan. The idea of strategic ambiguity has been somewhat abandoned under Biden's presidency, given that Biden in 2024 has stated that the U.S. will defend Taiwan if China attacks. But the White House staffers have made it clear that the policy has not been changed and the decision is with the president. During Donald Trump's tenure, the U.S. reinforced its relationship with Taiwan by approving large arms sales deals and engaging in high-level diplomacy. At the beginning of 2020, Trump's administration lifted the restrictions on meeting Taiwanese officials, which was a move away from the past policies. The Biden administration has kept on with this policy, supplying weapons and raising the number of meetings between U.S. and Taiwanese officials. The United States Congress also supports Taiwan by adopting legislation to promote the relationship and defend Taiwan. The United States says that its officials' recent visits to Taiwan have been strongly criticized by China, which resulted in military exercises and trade restrictions. What bothers American experts the most is that China is getting stronger militarily and behaving more aggressively. This will be the perfect combination for a potential conflict with Taiwan if the relations worsen. China still does not exclude the possibility of using force to take over Taiwan, while the U.S. still does not exclude the possibility of defending Taiwan if China attacks. However, the experts are not unanimous on whether China will attack. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia in 2022 raised this question all over again. Others see China's role in the Ukraine crisis as a warning, and they think that it might be more careful after seeing what happened to Russia. Taiwan probably won't be able to stand up to China on its own if it has to fight it. Even though Taiwan is raising its defense budget, China has a much larger one. Taiwan is ready to put even more money into defense, including buying better weapons and equipment for the coast. How has China proved to Taiwan that it is one to be feared? China has been applying many methods of pressuring Taiwan without engaging in a military confrontation. They have been sending more and more of their military planes and ships up to Taiwan shores in order to demonstrate their power. Taiwan says that China attacks thousands of times a day with cyber attacks to steal information from the government. This year, the number of attacks has increased several times. Taiwanese authorities have accused 4 Chinese hacker groups of having hacked into its government systems from 2018 to 2020. China has been employing a variety of other ways, though, which to put pressure on Taiwan. In 2016, they ceased communications with Taiwan's Maid Office for Communication, which is the link between the two sides. They also damaged the tourism industry of Taiwan, as the number of Chinese tourists visiting there has significantly decreased. The number of Chinese tourists, which was more than 4 million in 2015, dropped to 2 million. In 2019, the number of tourists visiting the city stood at 7 million, but the pandemic has led to a further decline in the number of travelers. China as well has forced large corporations such as airlines and hotels to say Taiwan is part of China. Besides, they frighten countries that have relations with Taiwan. In 2021, China broke off relations with Lithuania due to the latter's opening of a representation office for Taiwan in its capital. China is Taiwan's biggest trading partner, with a significant amount of Taiwan's economy being trade dependent. Lately, however, there have been problems with China's pressure on Taiwan and Taiwan's fear of being too dependent on China. Before Obama was president, from 2008 to 2016, Taiwan signed many agreements with China to facilitate trade. This was a very good thing for trade, as it meant that the trade barriers were removed and direct links were established. However, when Tsai and her party, the DPP, took over, they decided to widen trade relations with Southeast Asia and the Indo-Pacific region. They began the new southbound policy as a means to promote commerce within these nations. In 2016, the trade with them almost doubled compared to 2022, and Taiwan also began to invest more in these areas. Besides, Tsai is trying to bring back Taiwanese factories from China back to Taiwan. However, the efforts of Taiwanese officials did not stop the surge of exports to China, which reached a new record in 2021. The People's Republic of China pressures other countries not to make trade agreements with Taiwan, and Taiwan is excluded from big trading blocs such as the CPTPP or the RCEP.